You have traveled abroad severally. I know you have been to the US and you've been to the UK. And what do you see out there that does not? How am I going to ask this question? Because you have not told me that you have any plans or for you or for your family. But the you used the word lure or the attraction earlier. What doesn't? Why would you? How will I put this question now? All right, you keep going back to Nigeria. A lot of people do vacation here and they go back. You have talked
Yes.
about, home is the best and you're contributing to society. Why would you prefer? Okay, some people say they travel. Now I got trail of my thoughts back. They travel because of their children. I've seen people say that a lot. There are people who are already
Mm,
comfortable in their careers, in their businesses. Some people jackpot and sincerely so. For some others, it might just be a lame excuse. But for quite a number of people, I know they are genuine by saying that they travel so they can give their children better life. Why and how? They send the children to private nursery, primary, high school, or secondary school, private universities. And recently it became a fashion in the past 15, 20 years or thereabout, especially with the advent of private universities, that once the children finish with their private university first degrees, the parents ship them abroad for masters degree.
yes.
It became a norm. In the past, when Nigeria was okay, these people they get educated and they come back with their paper certification. And I was in corporate before in Nigeria, so I fully understand when those people come. Some of them even come back as expatriates. Some of them
Yes.
come back and they have very strong negotiating power. And usually corporations use them as bragging rights and they kind of give them some kind of pride of place. Now, some of these parents, they raise those children that way. And sometimes they just want to raise family in the West because Nigeria now became, people are talking of security. Even people living in Lagos, I do hear that a lot. Security and some other things that is not going well. And the unpredictability of our economy, the instability. So for you, did any of this consideration come to your mind? And how is it? What's your own experience in that aspect? Some people did it for family. Why didn't you consider such a thing?
Okay, for me, I believe I have only one life to live, and I've made up my mind that I will not live someone else's life, and I will
Hmm.
not live this life to please people or just to pose or to for validation of some people or some sets. That's okay because I know it's Jackpot is a fad, is a norm, and I refuse to be pressured. Thank goodness, thank God for my wife. These things always come from ladies and women's side also. My
Pressure.
wife is not even before I traveled. I intentionally wanted my wife to travel before me.
Wow.
Yes, but she instead I must go with my husband. I won't go. So I want her to go ahead of me to just to use that one to as a bragging rights. You
Wow.
understand? But
Right.
she refused. She refused to travel until we travel together.
Wow.
You understand? So she's not the type that mounted pressure on me. Ladies, sincerely, all I've seen, it will start from subtle listening, gradually
Pre-
pestering. Let us where we travel. At least some of my friends' wives, they started telling her, "Okay, you can." There was a time she said to me, "We two can stay." I said, "Stay where?" Not for me. I say, I have a job in Nigeria and I'm okay. We'll be coming to, for a holiday and we just come around. So, but the moment she came back to Nigeria, she forgot about everything, Western world. She faced her life. So, and I know there are various reasons, very genuine reason though, but the aspect of because of my children, because of our children, for to give them good future. Correct. It's okay for those that have that reasons, and it's also valid. And it's also another thing I would not want to like to uh this vagaries of Nigeria, Naira and dollar exchange rates.
Mm.
Aha. So it's a situation whereby no, if someone has moved already, you don't consider that. It's only when you are here, you send somebody there that you will. I can't be pursuing dollar with naira, so that
As a
will be fine.
parent,
But
for example,
as a
right?
parent, yes. But if everybody is there, we move together. I'm just me. For me, I look at if someone can have basic, like someone like some of us. My mother was not literate.
Mm.
You understand? At least. So, but if we can give those guys, those children, basic solid foundation, they can hold their own anywhere in the whole world. They compete internationally. Nigerian school here compete with foreign schools in STEMs, and they come top most times. So
Right.
that means the standard is not that falling or that descriptable, like people look at it. So for me, my own is I don't want to be put under so much pressure, and my children are not that. I'm not putting nobody. Though some people would tell me in a subtle way, guy, why don't you try and relocate? I say, I'm not. It's not.
So relocation
Me.
wasn't for you, and you didn't
I
experience that kind of because you opened us up a little bit to a very critical part. That some people who jackpot, it has to do with the interaction with their spouse, and
yes.
sometimes it could be subtle pressure. That takes me to the aspect of the economy. Um, because I know a lot of professional friends who were in the industry together way back, and the hustle is real. Um, and a lot of companies are leaving Nigeria in drones. Has it caused a kind of layoff? Because I know that you have transversed a lot of industries. From your profile, I see that you have worked in oil and gas, you've worked in construction, you've worked in banking, and you have worked in some other domains. All right. You've worked in IT, you've worked in asset management, you've worked in, banking. From your own observation, is it leading to um, the companies that are leaving and the fact that there are not too much fresh investment? How does that impact the employment market? I know you are not an HR professional like that,
So
but from experience, uh, are more people getting certified and not getting the jobs, or they're able to? Everybody's getting a place.
it's relatives. So if some companies so say that they leave, some are not really leaving, but they are changing management.
Mm,
You understand? Some are buying off, buying over. You understand? But they change strategy. Like IBM left Africa generally. But if you see
right.
some news, they will not put other countries in Africa. They say IBM is leaving Nigeria. The way they you know how some people they just want to project negative things about Nigeria. Anything that will make Nigeria to look bad. That is what they will flash in their paper or TV station or radio station. You understand? But IBM left the whole of Africa.
Wow.
You understand?
Right.
So because they changed strategy, Guinness left, and this family, I think, what's it called? They took it over. It's not that they closed factory, and it
Okay.
was serious expansion, and they are doing well. So it's about changing management, changing ownership. Some of them, but some actually shut down because of unfriendly uh,
That's
environment.
environment.
Maybe yes, either because some that import dependent company, they can survive. They are not looking for substitution locally. Meanwhile, they will have
Does
what they
that
can substitute with,
does that
but they are not
affect?
looking inward.
Thank you, sir. Does that affect? I'm looking at the situation where the universities are churning out fresh graduates, and it doesn't look as if the people who are already in the industry are people able to hold their jobs or companies are laying off? Because what we do here is that things are not easy in the industries and some of them are scaling down. And fresh graduates are, what is the scenario? Help us to tie the two together.
The world economy affects everyone worldwide. You understand?
Mm.
So some companies are multinationals, while some are local based. So if some companies are import dependent so much, like the war in Ukraine and Russia,
Mhm.
it, it affects so many companies around the whole world, so many economies. So companies that are heavily import dependent, that are always pursuing dollars, LC here and there, that are not looking inward in, uh, to substitute some. They are not research based. They are not looking how to substitute local
Local
materials
alternatives.
because it pays them because that's some way of padding their LC of money laundering.
To move their
The money,
profits
you
offshore.
understand. But when they see that this pipe is drying or is getting blocked, they start shouting because different company with different motives.
What about the operating environment? Because even Nigerian companies are struggling with, you can see the power grid has collapsed, like from what I heard several times this year, and that all that keep happening, and all this infrastructural problem, the stability of the exchange rate. Does that have any impact in the society? I mean, let me see, like the manpower. I'm sure I'm looking for a word right here. You know, I mean, how does that impact the job market and the employ? Let me say the employment situation in Nigeria.
For me, as I said, is relative. Companies, the economy environment is harsh, you understand?
Right.
But some company are making kills.
Okay.
You understand? It depends on interests
I'm looking at the
and
individuals
focus.
now.
There are
I'm
some
looking at the employment side of it.
employment has not always been since we were growing up.
Okay.
You understand?
Yep.
Even if we want to look at the employment market, we will not go to university.
Hmm.
Sincerely, since primary school, secondary school, we've been hearing there's no work. So some people will go, why are you disturbing yourself? Why are you going to invest? There's no work. So it depends. When when the things are very hard, that's when some people will get to strive
Right.
and flourish. Look at that aspect alone. I've heard it since my secondary school, primary school day. There's no work. There's no market. There's no this. Some people have been hearing that song for so many years. It's not that we didn't stay, not that as I graduated, we didn't stay hustle. We hustle. Some people look at, that's why I say some things relatives. When I left university, when I finished service, I started audit firm with less than 10% of what I was earning as a copper. But some people
Wow.
cannot take it.
Hmm.
You understand?
Right.
So those are set of people who say there's no work. There is
Then why they are working? Because it might not even cover their transportation. You remember the Lagos state government recently and some other governments. I don't know if they sustained it, but they said that people can work from home. For those who their work can allow them to work from home, they had to meet them in between so that because they know that it's not sustainable for them to be coming to work. So couldn't those be part of the thing that is affecting, you know, people from getting some of those levels of employment that you talked about? Is that not the reality on our hands? The purchasing power of whatever they are paid is not just the figure now. They might be earning six figures, 200,000, 300,000, but 300,000 is even not many companies are paying that really. So, and for a fresh graduate, for example, if somebody is offered 150 today, it's just like offering them 10 or 20,000 in the past. What about that?
so you are right. In that sense, purchasing power has dwindled because of inflation and because of the flotation of the naira. But at the same time, too, it depends on the skill set. It depends on your arising. You understand? So companies too, they try to come up with a lot of palliative, a lot of incentives for staffs, some staff boss, some reduce hours of work, some different type of genius things that will make life easy and okay for staff. So, but as I said, I still have so many organizations that are looking for staff.
Okay. I think that you have been repeating yourself. I hope people take advantage of the of information and they are not just running with the everybody's everyday, mindset, because information is everything. You are there and I know, you see it all. And I know that you're also on the ground. You're on the ground. If I know what I mean, that you are really aware of your environment. That would take me completely out of the zone of the industry right now.